one thing, let us talk about Jindal Stainless, which is the stock on our radar. The company posted a weak set of Q4 numbers. The declining nickel prices impacted inventory and hit margins quite a bit. Anurag Mantri, who is the group CFO of Jindal Stainless, joins us to discuss that. Just for the benefit of our viewers, in Q4, the sales were down 13%, operating profits were down almost 27%, and margins went down to 7.2%. Anurag, thanks for being with us. If you could just start by giving us some indication on what demand is like currently and what kind of sales volumes do you hope to clock in the first half of FY21?
Thank you. On currently what we are seeing is that domestic market gradually opening up, but it's too early to still predict what kind of demand will pen up and what kind of speed it will recover. I think what we are focusing also simultaneously is on the export side. So we are seeing that at least on export in June, we are expecting to reach the same levels which we are on the pre-COVID. So in overall mix, we export will typically our export and domestic mix remains in the 80 to 20 range. But right now, since domestic orders are down, so maybe since we'll reach to the same level of export orders in June, so in the mix, it may come up to almost 60%, as high as 60% in overall sales mix in June. Gradually, we are watching closely on how the demands pick up in this domestic segment. But we are hopeful. I think few of the segment, like we believe that two-wheeler segment, if it demand pick it up, I think we have a large share in two-wheeler. Mostly our auto comes in the two-wheeler segment, so we could then see a demand coming from two-wheeler segment. Healthcare industry, which uses a large part of stainless steel as a raw material. I think if the healthcare infrastructure will renewed focus, we believe that healthcare could be one key sector going forward. Railway continued to be a good sector, so we have, as you see, that our railway in overall mix used to be just 6%, which we have doubled in last 2 years. Last 2 years has now reached to almost 12%. So it's growing very fast because especially the renewed focus on railway infrastructure. So you would have seen like recently Bhayandar Foot-over Bridge, which is made out of completely stainless steel, and now all the new foot-over bridges converting into stainless steel, wagons, coaches, metro coaches, all these infrastructure could give a renewed push on the stainless steel consumption. So we believe, I think it's still to watch up. I think what we believe is that overall we can still continue to go little higher than the GDP growth. So last year, if you see, even after the muted economic activity, initially auto was down, and at the end we saw COVID happening and March getting washed out, almost half of the March getting washed out, which is generally a high sales month for us. We still managed to get almost 7% volume growth, which is higher than the normal average GDP of 4 to 5%. So going forward also, we believe as a stainless steel sector, we will continue to clock a volume growth of higher than the GDP growth. I think we'll have to watch next 3 to 4 months how the domestic demand shape up, but we are hopeful that domestic demand should start picking it up. And meanwhile, we continue to focus on export.
Are you facing any supply side issues? Sure, got that. Are you facing any supply side issues right now? Because when we hear from other people in the industry, they indicate to us that there is still a lack of trucks. Truck drivers are not available because of the whole migrant worker issue. There are still some logistic problems. Are you facing any of that in either domestic or to service your export orders?
Yes, sure. I think logistic now is taking a large focus on our day-to-day operation side, because which obviously on a normal operation basis, logistic was never on that much of focus. So right now, logistic is taking a lot of our focus and bandwidth in terms of managing that part. So we are facing challenges, but I think we are trying to overcome with that and gradually moving towards it.
All right, Mr. Mantri, a quick question you said you're exporting more, exports in nearly 60% in comparison to 20% normally. Tell us, what's the margin difference? Do you get the same margins on your exports as well as domestic sales? That's the first part of it. And also, you're saying that you'll do better than what India's GDP grows. Now, we're bracing ourselves for a GDP degrowth of 5 to around 10%. So could you end up the year with a flattest sales volume number?
I think we will still be on a positive territory on stainless steel because one is that it's not only the same segment, because as I mentioned, the newer segments and we are getting to a same consumption pattern of stainless steel like a developed market in terms of the infrastructure using more stainless steel. So we believed that eventually I think we will be on some positive territory of even if the economy degrows. Now on the margin, on your first question of margin, yes, margins are low right now because it's overall a recession, but the margins will have to watch for Indian markets also. So I'm not saying we are at a pre-COVID margin level, but its margins are under pressure and it continue to be under pressure on a overall in a global market also. Domestic side, I think what we'll have to watch is that this irrational import, as we talked about last time, and Indonesia, especially the Chinese goods coming through FTA countries, those could create a large margin pressure in the future. So what we are expecting that, and our application is pending with the government in terms of to make that sure that to plug the FTA and these Chinese circumvention happening on the import side. So if that happens, I think we are fully geared to make this in Atmanirbhar Bharat as a true dream. So we can actually cater to the full demand of stainless steel in India. Right now, stainless steel industry is just operating at 60% capacity.
Okay, all right. Just to take that point forward then in terms of protection that the government of India has given to the stainless steel industry, just in the past week that anti-dumping duty was extended till December 2020. That was on 300 series, that's the product category that's been given. Tell us, out of your total sales mix, how much does this contribute, and also is this ADD that's been put in, that's the anti-dumping duty, sufficient to protect you at least for the 300 series sales?
Good question, Nigel. So it's a good move, I think, government, and it gives a good positive direction. But what's happening, as we were discussing last time, this is actually on China, Malaysia, and specific countries. The FTA countries like Indonesia, some of the countries are still not covered under this. So what is happening is that after this last time, most of the Chinese imports are actually not coming from the Chinese shores. They are either circumventing to other shores or the Chinese have set up the mills into other countries. So I think so it's a good welcome step, but it needs to be widened to all the countries where the Chinese imports or Chinese mills are dumping the goods. So especially including Indonesia, Vietnam, Taiwan. So those are actually critically required. If you see, Chinese imports have actually come down after this when this was put up largely. But anyway, that doesn't matter because ultimately overall imports have increased. So like in Indonesia itself, which is not covered under this extension, on which is the new inquiry, the Indonesian imports have tripled in last 1 year. So it used to be just 75,000 of stainless steel in FY19. In FY20, it was more than 240,000. 260,000 actually. So it was actually a large dumping happening by the Chinese mills through Indonesia. So those are actually required to be put up. I think we are hopeful that government will actually widen this net and immediately plug this.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Mr. Mantri, for joining in, filling us in with those details. You're optimistic that you will do a flattish to a positive sales volume number for this year. Margins could remain under pressure, and for the time being, since domestic demand is yet to pick up, you have shifted to the exports markets. Well, we'll touch base with you in a couple of months and get an update on how things are moving. For the time being, the stock is more or less flattish. Let's shift focus then from the metal space to the insurance space.